light sales continue to plummet, adding insult to injury. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. I got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Buckle up, strap in, hold on to your hats and your glasses as we blow the lid off the U.S. economy and the U.S. housing market. Why, you ask? Well, of course, I'm going to tell you they're tied together. Lose one, you lose the other. Throw a dart at an economic challenge map. They're both being threatened as we speak, but there's a new elephant in the room today as we examine. I'm almost about to shock myself, even somebody who reports this stuff quite frequently. We're putting the economy and all the markets, you ready for this one? Through the biggest stress test ever witnessed in world history. This wasn't like in 2008 where we had a housing bubble. We had a housing bubble, it popped, provided some blowback. This is an everything bubble. An everything bubble. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky, in my opinion. We've heard about the companies, the big organizations, getting a little bit crazy with some of their tactics in terms of stimulating profits. And that's what it all comes back to. Greed. And stimulus and the crisis, creating a casino climate, but mainly greed. Be greedy when others are fearful. Fearful when others are greedy. When the stimulus created the wealth effect and you had lines around the block to overbid, even in 2008 when we just had a housing bubble, not an everything bubble, even in 2008, you didn't see people standing around the block to tour an open house. I was on an open house this weekend, and I got to tell you, here where I live, because it's an episode $1 million listing, you know, the home of the rich and famous, the Rodeo Drive of the country, the Royals, the Oprahs, they're all here. They're all here. If you're priced right, which is always, if you've watched this channel, what I always tell my clients, you got the lower, middle, and upper range value where we can come on. Well, Scott, I want to come on the upper range because I know we're going to, okay. How many people do you want me to get into this open house today? Oh, okay. Well, then we got to put you mid-range. See, it all depends on how the house shows, its curb appeal. There's a lot of factors where before you could just put any pile of junk, look like a wreck, just take pictures with your iPhone, not even professional photography, and you got sold. You see, but that was a temporary anomaly in the markets. It's not going to last. But I was shocked to see how many people came through this open house, because I keep going back to before the crisis. Before the crisis, I'd hold open houses, and there was always a break in between people coming in. Like, you know, you wouldn't just have this steady stream. I mean, this was a steady stream, and then people standing in line to talk to you. And it's a lot of pressure, especially for me, because I don't sugarcoat it. Like, I'm not here like, it's a great time to buy, everybody. You better get this one quick. No, here's the house. It's going to sell itself. Like, all I am is really a tour guide. I answer questions. Oh, yeah, it has this fee or this, that, the other technical stuff that's just not visible. But the realities is when we see the social structure now affecting companies, they're like, I want to do this to try to drive profits. They're grasping at straws, and they're letting kids now run their company, doing grown-ups work. Kids that, at least even young adults, who I call kid, because you haven't lived firsthand as an adult through an economic downturn before. And if you did, and I know there's plenty of them out there, grown-ups my age, you lived through this before, but you needed this time to be different. You convinced yourself of it. So, you know, a small majority of the population are going to be able to navigate through this. That's the way it happens in all previous bust cycles. Very small percentage. And so congratulations. If you're new, please subscribe right away. Never been a more important time in history to get centered and surrounded like-minded people. If you're watching this today, there's a good chance that's you. You will, in fact, see this thing coming. You will not be a deer in the headlights. You will not be blindsided by this the way the majority of the population will be. Let me just explain that to you, friends. I can guarantee and promise you a super high level of certainty. And it's never been if we're going to have a bust cycle, because we've always had them. We've always had busts, booms and busts. We just went through the biggest boom ever recorded in history. So a bust is following. So if this wasn't the catalyst to deliver it, And it'll just be something else. Eventually it's coming. For us here, we put the percentage of likelihood on a bust cycle. And we put a high level, and we're starting to see, because when we started reporting on this is a bubble and it's going to have blowback, most people are like, you're crazy. You're crazy. There's no signs of a crash here. Yeah, because you're not forward thinking. You're not critical thinking. You don't work in the industry. You're not heat mapping and temperature checking on the boots on the ground, seeing people operate out of sheer and utter just naive greed, or have drank the Kool-Aid or believed the mainstream narratives. Now, we can't believe mainstream media. Why? Because they're just reporting headlines handed down from a newsroom. That's why these types of social media outlets are so important. This is the only place you're really getting boots on the ground intel from somebody that's actually out there doing it, turning on a camera and reporting on it, not having it approved by some agency or network saying you got to change this, you got to do that, you got to stay within this. Most news reporters are just reporting from higher ups. So today we got to talk about one of the things that's affecting these companies now as they get desperate. And Bud Light did that in a big way. We've seen the news. I've reported on this before. In fact, I have another channel. I'm going to report on this channel that I have that I don't really use for anything, just random stuff. And those videos went incredibly viral, so it looks like I might have another channel on our hands that we're going to have to maybe go a little deeper than what we do here, or at least different. I wouldn't say deeper. But Bud Light now is showing us what happens. They're showing corporate America what happens when you deviate from the foundation of what this country was built on. Values, truth, justice, the American dream. Now, everybody's entitled to the American dream. We're not saying that the tools they use to try to stimulate additional sales into their failing company that was shut down during the crisis, they needed to do something, and they drank the Kool-Aid during the money dump and hired more people than they could handle. And then they just went ahead and rolled the dice with a bunch of kids to say, we're going to go after this demographic. And we think we can bridge the gap and maybe bring your profit. Who knows? Something to that effect probably happened. Well, let's see what it resulted in. Let's jump over to today's article, see how the sales are holding up for them. Then we're going to meet back here and wrap it up. Let's get started. Bud Light sales continue to plummet after transgender marketing controversy. Sales of Bud Light have been plunging since the company enlisted the help of transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney in a marketing campaign a month ago. In the week that ended April 22nd, the brand's in-store sales plummeted more than 26%, according to figures reported by Bump Williams Consulting, a Connecticut-based firm that specializes in the alcoholic beverage industry. And the decline is only accelerating. The week before, sales dropped 21%. A week before that, 11%. This company's in a free fall. Let's get back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. So there you go. Let me just tell you, friends, had that worked for Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light, had that marketing campaign worked, we'd be in a different world. I'm already watching enough of that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm not here to get politically or socially driven. I'm more economically driven, but you got to understand that's the triple threat, we'll call it actually. Not a three-braided cord, a triple threat. Economics, politics, social structure. Bud Light got all three involved. They're now politically charged. They compromised their social structure, and their economic component just suffered a potential massive, massive hit to their bottom line. And final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created bubble ever produced in world history will have its blowback. Companies drank the Kool-Aid. Sorry to say it, Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light. You made your bed, you get to lie in it. Now, you should have done what built your company in the first place. Is you deviated from that. You drank the Kool-Aid. You believed this hype. It's not your fault. Everybody got a little bit wacky in this one as you shut people down and tell them they can't come out of their house, and you send them at home and then get them in front of screens and start to compromise their own social structure and start questioning their own sanity. This is what happens. You tried to capitalize on that when you should have been spreading more messages of hope, Americana, good old USA. You did it. I'm going to continue to blow the lid off this thing every step of the way because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with the links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.